what do you think can be done to curb the trend?
Really nothing you can do like
Why? So hopeless, yeah?
yeah.
Why?
That's a reality.
When they're teenagers and they understand, tell them what are the bad side and good side and what kind of things they should do to help themselves.
How would you educate your children so that they will know more, they will be more empowered to make more informed decisions? Do you think parents should be entrusted with this task, or do you think teachers can do a better job, in educating them about sex?
I think teachers can do the better job comparatively to the parents, because the parents is how to share these things.
Do you talk to your parents about, sex?
No.
How come?
And too dirty-minded.
Why do you think it's dirty-minded to talk about sex?
Because it's not appropriate.
Prefer teachers to do the job?
Yeah, then whole class can benefit from it, learn from each other.
Do you think there are topics about sex, right, that can be covered in schools' sex education classes, but they are not covered yet?
I think for myself, I was from a boys' school, so what is to be covered is covered already. Because it's easier for guys teacher to talk to guy students.
Usually you have your own teachers to teach you about
In
sex.
fact, they give us their experiences.
When you were in secondary school, you don't know much about sex.
Yeah,
Don't you have your sex education classes and all that?
have but we don't really bother because we don't care.
What are you taught during the sex education classes?
Don't talk to strangers.
Strangers? Ask girls out.
Yeah.
Really? You're taught that?
No. I don't know how to say.
They teach us how to use protective sex.
They focus a lot on the diseases and such. A bit too much on the, quite gross.
I thought that if we do it with multiple partners, you get STDs, and it's not a good age, like 17, our teenage years. It's not a good age to have sex with people.
Did they give you a guideline as to at which age can you start getting physical with your boyfriend or girlfriends?
No, they didn't, but it's advisable to be above 20 so that you'll be financially stable and everything.
Or even when we are married, after marriage.
After marriage,
Yeah.
Okay. So do you agree with the things that you are taught, in your sex education classes?
Yes, I do agree about the things that we are taught, because we do learn from it. We do benefit from it because we learn the dangers of it and we know how to avoid it.
Do you agree with everything that's covered in the classes?
Some yes, some no.
What are the things that you disagree with? So you don't think young dating is a problem?
Yeah.
Young people should be allowed to date as well.
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
You gain experience.
Besides your sex education classes, do you get your information from anywhere else?
Magazines?
It's like 17.
Yeah.
From church, the media, from drama, from movies. Is that true as well?
So,
But from the internet?
no.
Sometimes when my friends talk about it and they say they wanted to have all those, but it's very inappropriate for us. So I scolded them in another words. Yeah, because yeah.
So you're unhappy with your peers who are into all these cheeky talks and
Because it's not beneficial to us. Plus we are young still, so we should focus more on our studies and our future.
Wow, good advice.
From the boy.
Yeah.
He was only, I think 15. He's only 15 when I was
sensible.
That's right. So sex education has been ongoing, right?
In schools.
Since our time. But we learn more about, the biological aspects.
And the abortion.
How to draw the male and female
that's more like
reproductive
biology
organs.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. But, what about them?
Yeah, what are your experiences with sex education in your schools?
Like one of the students says, it's more on STDs, not on pregnancy. STDs, you will get it and there's no cure. For pregnancy, there's prevention to it, so you won't get it. So it's better on pregnancy than STDs. Maybe on both sides, but like I say, in pregnancies, when you get it, you quit school, your whole life is gone. When you have STDs, you still can survive. Not that I want to say you must get STDs, but you can still go on to school And
Oh.
but
Because
then
STD is a hidden thing.
Not advertising as a pregnancy, yeah?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. Then what about your way?
Yeah.
I would say that school is very focused on diseases instead of protection. So it's like after all, this is the new generation. We have media everywhere showing us people having sex, even though the movie is PG-13 or something. So it's like we are not taught practically how to protect ourselves biologically.
Which means like safe sex.
So you want practical wisdom.
Condoms.
Okay.
So basically, school is very covered on AIDS and stuff.
Okay, all right. Then what about Mr. Noel Tong? Like, what do you think is lacking in the current sex education classes?
I'm going to go out on a limb and get into trouble for that. I wouldn't say it's lacking. There is a purpose why certain things are covered. STDs, for example, because they are a real thing. The other thing as well, actually, for Yung Wei, for a lot of people, the thing is this: actually, a lot of the sex stuff is not new. If you actually look at history, which I'm a student of history, if you actually look back, it was way worse than it is now. A lot of the stuff, for example, in the Middle Ages would make us look like sticks in the mud. But the reality is, I think what could be focused on is, for example, relationships. That is not covered. The role of sex in relationships. Sex is a great thing. In a relationship, it's a great thing. We just need to know what to do with it. So it's multifaceted. The whole discussion about sex is something that we need to pay more attention to. But not just the STDs, the whole relationship side. What happens if you get pregnant? That's what we do at Sanctuary House. We deal with crisis pregnancies. So probably if we can focus a little bit more. One of the things Mr. Teo would agree with is really the equipping of kids. How to say no, how to deal with friendships and even the BGR. Because it's not about sex. Sex is, I always joke with parents. I do a lot of parenting stuff. I always tell parents, the best way to get your kids off sex is to tell your kids that you actually still have sex. Because that freaks out your kids, Then you start kissing your spouse, and they, oh, yuck.
Is that like a scare tactic?
So far it's worked,
Do you guys agree that abstinence only, that kind of approach wouldn't work anymore?
Well, let's put it this way. Abstinence only works for those that stick to it, right? It's 100% for those who stick to it. Okay, so it really, at the end of the day, it's about a choice. Different people have different choices that they want to make, so it's not about whether this works or that doesn't work. The other thing as well, it's not just girls here. Girls don't have to say no. We had a sex conference last year, sometime in the mid-year, and we had, at least 10 questions from boys who had to learn how to say no because the girls were coming onto them.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a different trend now.
That's right. Yeah.
So do you agree that it's a trend that girls are the initiator of the?
You still see some numbers who are kind of pressured into it, but increasingly you're seeing it's more consensus. So you can't say it's the guy at fault because both are willing parties. But nevertheless, the fact that they're very young, makes it a little bit more tricky. They're too young to understand the implication. And in this sense, I think that there's a need to have perhaps to teach kids to think more clearly, right? To make more informed decisions, not just by giving them information, but to understand fallacies in logical thinking and how not to get involved for the wrong reasons, things like that. So teaching them how to think will be useful.
And the analytical skills.
Yeah, that's right.
And the skills applies to all sorts of circumstances, not just in the
So they won't come and say, you told me to do this and I'll do just the opposite just to prove you wrong. They'll do something or not do something because they feel they think they thought through the matter.
So in terms of sexuality education, just now Mr. Cho mentioned that maybe we can incorporate martial arts.
I'm game for that.
Also, we have like something else, like a science-based tool. So let's introduce our last guest today. It's over there. It's lurking there. And this one is thanks to Noel for bringing this infant simulator to our studio. So Noel, can you explain to us how does it work?
Sure. This is Baby John. He's a computer simulator. And what he does is that he functions like a real life baby. And what typically students do is that they will take this baby home and they will parent this baby over a 2-day period. Now, this baby will function like a real life baby, so it will wake you up 3-4 times a night. Okay, it will scream, and we will let you hear the scream if you want to.
Okay,
I think we should.
Let's
Okay.
let's just pretend that we're gonna have.
Yeah, say Rina, you are going to
Let's
parent this.
Okay, let's do it easy, and we're saying that I'll tell you. Okay, the baby needs feeding.
Oh.
Okay, so no, you have to, as in every baby, you need to support the neck, otherwise the baby will start screaming in pain and stuff. Right? So we need to feed. So what it does is that every parent will have an identification tag, and we need to put this on the baby, and then after that you will feed the baby with a bottle. All right? So let's get the simulation going.
Get ready, Rina. Oh my god. I was going to cry any moment. Oh my god. Wow.
Carry him.
So actually, Noah is a father of 4 children. Yes, he is very experienced. Wow. Not too bad, Rina.
You're doing well.
Yeah. So it's actually feeling happy, right? The
Yeah,
baby.
and now it's starting to get hungry.
Okay.
Okay. It's really realistic.
Okay, now start feeding.
Okay. So the milk bottle, it doesn't contain milk.
No, it is basically just a sensor that will pick it up.
Okay.
You'll find that the baby actually makes sounds of drinking and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can hear the
Really
sucking.
very
Yeah.
realistic.
Wow.
I'm gonna be a
Okay.
good mother.
You pass.
What do you think, Rina? You like this experience?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I need a few more years. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the baby's happy because baby was cooing just
Okay.
now. So that means the baby's been fed.
Okay.
And now they're fine. Now, what happens in a daily situation is after you fed the baby, about half an hour later, the baby will need a burp. We can put the baby down,
Okay.
then half an hour later, the baby's going
Alright.
to cry again to get burped.
Okay, maybe let's proceed from the easy, to the more challenging level, and we'll pass the infant to the boy.
Okay.
Very generous as well.
You're going to need this. Touch it on the chest.
On your chest.
Let me do this.
I don't know.
Let me.
Oh, it's quite heavy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So do you pass the baby?
Will you take out the battery?
Oh, you weigh the neck, the neck.
Yeah.
The neck with the leg.
Don't kill it.
Okay, why don't we do a diaper change? So we'll just put the baby on the
That's
table.
a challenge. That's
Diaper.
Alright.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
put
just
it
put
on
the
the
baby on
table.
the table. It's
Yeah,
okay.
maybe
Here on the
you can
table.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, closer.
Don't drop the baby.
Don't drop the baby. Yeah. All
Very
right.
cute, huh?
Okay, and then we have the
Like
diaper
that.
here.
So let me.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
When the baby starts fussing, identify yourself with the tag. Put it on the baby's chest.
you're the father now.
On the chest. Yeah.
Okay.
The baby will start crying,
Oh.
signaling you need to change the diaper.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your way through is just to pass.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Just pass the diapers.
I'm doing a good job now.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. Uh-oh.
Can someone shut this baby?
So basically, this experience it's the purpose is to help the teenagers realize the responsibility, right?
Involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's turn it off before.
Okay.
It's quite
The
noisy.
baby is louder than us.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it will not stop crying.
Yes.
All right, let's pass it back. Okay.
So, what is the purpose then when you show the teenagers this and you're trying to help them to see what is the responsibility?
I think one of it's an extensive program, so it's not just about taking care of the baby. Of course, it's about giving them the skills, giving them a taste of what is really involved in taking care of a baby. The other part that's quite critical is we actually focus on the relationship skills, how to make decisions, how to say no, how to build your relationship, even a boy-girl relationship where you don't need to really talk about sex, and that's it's a good thing, but it's not a critical thing. The other part as well is to focus a lot on financial management, because a lot of kids have no clue. Actually, that said, a lot of adults don't have any clue about how much it costs to actually raise a baby. It costs a lot of money. So all these things will be part of the program. Of course, then we'll talk about baby skills, child development and stuff like that as well.
Okay, all right. So this will probably add another dimension to the whole sex education.
Do you think it will be helpful for you guys?
Definitely. Scary.
Wow, is it to scare you off anything else?
What about Rina? Is it a frightening experience to you?
I can, like, when I don't have a baby, I still can go out, chill out, have fun with my friend. And when I got a baby, I have to stay home to
that's right. Social
Actually, I think social life, indeed.
That's right. One of the very important things that should be incorporated into the curriculum is to emphasize the point that you will lose your social life, right? When you get pregnant and when you have a baby. That's right. And also probably we should also instill a curriculum where it's really non-judgmental. That means even if you have been sexually active once before, there's still a chance, to make a comeback.
I think the key that we have gleaned from this discussion is that communication and the parents' involvement and to understand learn critical skills is important. To tackle this. But we really are grateful for all of your time that you all came here. We really had a good time and fun time too.
And with the guests.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right. So we see you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, promise.
Bye.
Bye.